Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be the first team ever to host a Super Bowl. The Bucs have punched their ticket to Super Bowl 55. Tom Brady, you're the real deal. The Bucs win. Bucs win. Tampa Bay is heading to the Super Bowl.
Hey, how about it? We get to enjoy a home team Super Bowl. Nobody's ever been able to say that before. I'm James Tully, and this is the Rebound Tampa Bay podcast. So right now, let's talk about all the things that you can do to be a part of all the festivities that lead up to the big game, Super Bowl 55. He is Rob Higgins, Executive Director of the Tampa Bay Sports Commission, joining us on the Rebound Tampa Bay podcast. If I can just talk sports with you for a second, Rob. You know, maybe one player can't get you to the Super Bowl, but it's pretty clear with the Bucs, one player has made such a difference throughout the entire organization and taken a team that perennially, falls short of the playoffs, falls short of a winning record, and has won two incredible road games in the playoffs. And now for the first time in history, the Super Bowl has its host team playing in it, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What a wild year.
Man, it's been crazy. You saw it start to come together this summer.
Yeah, you did.
With the announcement that Brady had signed here. Certainly Gronk shortly after. I thought a big key to it was keeping the defense together with how special they were. And so for them to be back, I think they're playing at a really elite level too. But you saw when Brady signed, the national spotlight go on the Buccaneers really quick. I mean, the really media associated just with him signing was incredible, and now to follow this magical journey across the regular season and what's happened in the playoffs have been amazing.
I think it's pretty obvious Brady picked the Bucs because he knew how good they were just about in every facet of the game. I mean, I look at this team and I'm like, every position has a strength at it. I mean, you got two good tailbacks, right? In Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette. Everybody knows the receivers are great, but the offensive line's been good. You turn it over on the other side of the ball. I mean, every single position on this team, position group, has a star. It's really astonishing, and it's hard when your previous quarterback throws 30 interceptions the year before to really see how good the defense is. But I think a lot of people around football knew the Bucs had a dangerous defense, and to add a great quarterback to it, there you go. Put you over the top.
I mean, you referenced all the positions. You didn't even mention tight end. I mean, look at the tight end room with Gronk and Cameron Brate. I mean, they lose O.J. Howard early in the year, but that's one of the best tight end rooms in all of football. I mean,
you forget O.J. Howard's on the team.
Right. I mean, it's truly, they're elite at every position. It was going to take time for them to gel, which, they have obviously been able to do. And just over those last 4 games of the regular season, 4 or 5 games, you saw it starting to come together. So it's been awesome to really watch it unfold here in the playoffs.
It's been great. And you can argue they really haven't played a complete game of football yet. And that's just how scary good this Bucs team can be. Now they get to face the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are scary good, and they played a lot of complete games of football. And, maybe this is the passing of the torch game, with Brady to former MVP, former Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes. Maybe it is that. Or maybe Brady's got enough in the tank to win his 7th Super Bowl and do it here in Tampa. And that's exactly what you guys over at the Sports Commission want to see.
Man, it's been wild throughout. I'm supposed to be unbiased, but I was smart very early on. I asked the guy that runs the Super Bowl, Peter O'Reilly, for the NFL, do you mind just giving me – I was born and raised in Tampa. Do you mind just giving me special dispensation to cheer on the team the entire way? And he said, have at it, Rob. Go ahead, do your thing. So I have been probably abusing that dispensation we received. Now that we're to the Super Bowl, help will them to the Super Bowl by cheering them on. All of Team Tampa Bay is. I think we got to make sure it's totally equitable, and that certainly the Chiefs' huge accomplishment, back-to-back Super Bowls in the Sunshine State.
It's a good matchup.
I mean, really, really fun to watch. It's going to be so many great storylines, which you've already hit on a few of them, but it's just going to be a fun football game to watch for everybody.
I think it's ideal. I think it's an ideal matchup. I really feel that way. And those two teams, they met back in the regular season. And I think it was Tony Romo who did color commentary for the game, said, you know what, I think these are the two teams we're going to see in the Super Bowl. We know he likes to predict things. If you watch any CBS games of Tony Romo doing commentary, you know that. Can I just real talk though, Rob? Have you guys had the palm in the forehead moments at all this year? Because, okay, you've got the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. You have the American League pennant winning Tampa Bay Rays. And now you have a Super Bowl bound Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, all done during a pandemic when fans, for the most part, couldn't even see these teams in person play. I mean, have you had that where it's kind of like, geez, it figures. The one year we have like the greatest year of sports in Tampa Bay sports history, this is happening? Or do you have another way to look at it?
You know, the way I look at it is obviously the last 12 months have been beyond challenging. I don't know anybody that the pandemic hasn't affected negatively in like a really profound way. So to have this Team Tampa Bay run happening right now and giving people hope and giving people passion and giving people something to get excited about when, quite frankly, there's not a lot with everything going on in the world to be excited about. I see it as, you know, a glass 3/4 full type of moment. So I like the timing. I think the timing has been great. Certainly would have been awesome to be in the stands together and celebrating. Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, obviously not safe to do that. So instead we try to do it in other ways. You know, hats off to the teams. They've tried to really ramp up on social and give more access to fans so that they can be a part of the journey behind the scenes. You see that passion, enthusiasm on social media as part of it. And it's just great. I think with how much these franchises do off the field philanthropically, they never get their due in terms of how they give back to the community. So I'm just happy for the people in the organizations, the owners, the front office folks, obviously the players and coaches, because they give so much to the community. So it's great to see them be successful because, you know, it's always awesome for good things to happen to good people.
It definitely is. And you're right about the philanthropic nature of the franchises here in the Bay Area. And having a chance to host the Super Bowl, you had the opportunity last year to host WrestleMania. Of course, the pandemic blew that up. The WrestleMania is coming back. And before I let you go, we will touch on some WrestleMania things because that's really cool. The decisions that have gone into how you're going to hold festivities and do them safely and everything else, I want to get into that a little bit. You know, the first bit of news that we got that I think was universally praised, and why wouldn't it be? I mean, we talked about it this morning on Good Morning Tampa Bay, but the idea to offer up 7,500 tickets to the frontline healthcare workers who are vaccinated, they're good to go, and get them into the stadium to watch the Super Bowl. Universal praise on that decision. I think across the board. What an opportunity for them.
And, you know, the NFL deserves all the credit. I'll never forget, you know, probably one of those like pinnacle moments in this incredible journey of being with, you know, the host committee and the sports commission was in a meeting hearing that idea come out. And I got chills because it's one of those things, you know, everybody all of a sudden lit up and was like, wow, that'd be fantastic. You know, what gets lost, the 7,500 number is so big that what gets lost is the actual people and the stories that they have. And that's what's been remarkable is getting to know, you know, the ICU nurse manager at Tampa General Hospital to the person that does environmental services to their chaplain. And just every one of them has not only, you know, met every day of this pandemic, which has been extremely challenging in a very unique way, but they've gone above and beyond. And so to have the biggest platform, the biggest event we could ever host in the Super Bowl and have the Super Bowl really dedicated to honoring vaccinated healthcare workers and welcoming them is one of the most special things, probably the most special thing you know we could ever be involved in with an event. And so it's been great to see, you know, the stories of these folks finally get some of their just due. They'll never get what they deserve based off of what they've accomplished these last 12 months, but to know that they're going to have, this special night at the Super Bowl, and to know that, some of their stories are going to be able to be told is just truly, it's surreal and it's incredible.
And icing on the cake that they get a chance to see the hometown team play in the Super Bowl. What a tremendous opportunity that is. It's history. It's sports history. It's never happened before.
It is. It is truly historic. The 54 editions of the Super Bowl. Obviously, no home team has ever played in it, and it's really exciting. Team Tampa Bay always likes to be a part of history, so it's pretty cool. But you talk to the Bucs, they're not settling for just getting there. No. They certainly feel like they've got unfinished business, and then you hear from the Chiefs. They definitely want to go back to back, and to become a champion, you usually have to go through the reigning champion. So it is such an incredible matchup, and we're fortunate that what we were already talking, as it being our most important Super Bowl because of everything it's given back to the community in a time when we really need it, to have this matchup is really the cherry on top of what's been an incredible process throughout.
He's Rob Higgins, Executive Director, Tampa Bay Sports Commission. A great get for us here on the Rebound podcast. And I'm going to give you the floor here to kind of break down some things that are happening around you want to get the attention to and let people know that are happening. Julian B. Lane Park in Tampa is going to be home to the fan experience, the NFL fan experience. That's really exciting. I know about all kinds of events up and down the Riverwalk. Also very important to get out to. There's lots of things to do. And you guys have had to go above and beyond with safety measures and protocols and things like that. But, Mayor Jane Castor, Rob, just the other day sent out a letter that said, look, Tampa knows how to celebrate safely. And she cited the boat parade for the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. So she's got a point. And I think you just want to make sure people have every bit of confidence in you guys that with these gatherings and things that are happening in relation to the Super Bowl, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fun. It's going to be safe.
Yeah, when you think about a Super Bowl and everything that goes into it, it's not so much more than a game. There's a lot of different things that go into it. But, despite the volume of decisions that has to be made on really an hourly basis, there's been one driving factor across the board with each and every decision, and that's health and safety. So you mentioned Super Bowl experience presented by Lowe's. We're excited to take advantage of this great river walk that we have. We've got a lot of the football thematic elements. You can pump past and kick your way through Julian B. Lane Park. But then we have Curtis Hickson Park, and it really runs all the way from Sparkman Wharf to Armature Works, 3-mile river walk. You've got a tech village set up in between, Coat and Chobe Park. And so we've got this great setup where you can spread out, which is what we want to be able to do right now. It's outdoors. We're going to try to take advantage of this great weather. And then it's free. So for the very first time, hats off to the NFL for making that happen, where it's free to the public and you've got great health and safety protocols. So mandatory masks, we've got a health screening app. You'll want to download NFL One Pass so that you can be a part of it. And we'll have fan safety managers roaming to help make sure everybody's doing their part. But we want folks to be able to create Super Bowl memories that'll last a lifetime, but really do it in a healthy and safe fashion.
Let's talk about the NFL fan experience at Julian B. Lane Park. That opens up on Friday. And you said that you have to get the NFL One Pass app. It's free, but you have to have the app and then register yourself so you can get in. What kind of protocols are there? I mean, this is going to be outside. Are masks still required everywhere you walk there in the park?
Yes, absolutely. Masks are mandatory throughout. There are some designated food and beverage zones where you'll be able to eat and drink within those specific. We want folks to be as safe as possible. So, with mandatory masks, with the health screening app that you basically complete before you walk in, that we've got social distancing in place. We'll have limited capacity as part of that. And then we'll make sure we've got folks that are helping encourage all the attendees to do their part. So,
hey, look, next best thing. I mean, I can't wait to say goodbye to all that stuff. But that's just a frustrated James Tully speaking, and I think I speak for a lot of people. But it is what you got to do, and it is nice that they stepped up and made it free. So that's great.
Yeah, it is awesome. With every event that we do, we always want to create access to the fans. And the one thing, I want to make sure we hit on before I got to wrap up and get to my next meeting here is the great news on WrestleMania 37.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
We were devastated when we lost it back in April, but it was totally the right decision based off everything going on with the pandemic. So to have it coming back, that's always been at the top of our list in terms of events that we've always wanted to host, but have never had a chance to host. Got within 2 weeks of it last time. And so it's awesome to have it coming back, not only for one night, but for 2 nights. So again, making history, first ever time it's been in a stadium for 2 nights, April 10 and 11. You'll see more information coming out shortly on tickets. And we know, our community loves WWE. So people are going to want to be a part of it. And naturally, we'll keep you guys posted on how you can be.
Yeah, real quick, because, vaccination distribution, we hope to be ramping up here by the time we get to April. Expectations you can do more people in the stadium than for the Super Bowl?
That's still to be determined. Again, Similar to NFL, it's going to be driven by health and safety. Our local public health and government officials play a big role in that in partnership with the WWE. So certainly those conversations are ongoing, and we'll be sure to keep you posted on when it's determined.
And again, over 20,000 people going to be in the stadium at Raymond James Stadium for the Super Bowl coming up in just a few short days here. I know you guys have had to adjust your expectations for revenue with this just because there's just not as many people in the stands, and the week leading up and everything else, just not going to be as many people in here. But I'm sure you've adjusted that. You still feel good about this being a big moneymaker for the city of Tampa despite what we're going through?
I don't feel good about it. I feel great about it. I mean,
Excellent.
You think about what our hospitality and tourism community has been through over the last 12 months. To have the most hotel visitor room nights we've seen in a year coming, to have more airline passengers than we've seen on average. Right now, it's more than double. It's tracking to be more than double what we've seen in recent months on average. So it's a shot in the arm when we really need a shot in the arm, and certainly it's well needed and well timed for sure.
Rob, I know you got to go. I thank you so much for your time, and best of luck. Go Bucks. And you can say that because you actually got permission. You can say that.
We're going to welcome the Chiefs and go Bucks.
The Rebound Tampa Bay podcast is brought to you ad-free on Stitcher, Apple, and Spotify. You can also watch a video version on the ABC Action News mobile app and our streaming news channel, as well as on my Facebook page, James Tully WFTS. Thanks for listening.